Happy Monday, Scotty. Welcome to tonight's California ED Q&A live. Oh, apparently I was watching TikTok. And I do want to read a tweet from the EDD regarding the PUA proof of work is actually how they're wording the tweet. We can talk about what documents are going to be acceptable. Those notices are supposed to go out tomorrow, November 10th. For information on that, welcome everyone. Please give the video a like. Hello, Dollar. And I might keep it short tonight. I am flying out at 6 a.m. tomorrow, which means I need to be at the airport at 4 a.m. And guess who's not packed? It's me. I got called into work last night, which was the day I was going to pack early for once and not pack the day before the flight or the day I'm leaving. And my plans got foiled. Okay. So it says, it actually says a lot of things. Okay. If you receive an email, text, or UI online notice requesting your work history, you will need to submit proof to comply with federal rules. And then there's a link. And it also says, it says starting 11/10, notices will be sent to pandemic unemployment assistance recipients who need to submit federally required documentation proving they were or planned to be self-employed or employed at some point during the calendar year before and up to the start of their PUA claim. The requirement may, they've changed the wording to that favorite one. It may not, so it may or it may not. It may not apply to those who filed a PUA claim in 2020 if they already provided their 2019 wage and income information, which already meets the federal requirements. So if you started your claim in 2020 and you already submitted proof of income in order to get a higher weekly benefit amount than just the minimum PUA amount of $167, then the requirement should already be satisfied. Hello, I Love Podcast. Hello, Danny. Hello, Fun Kids. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Lorna removed her message. Francesca said, thank you. I'm going to Florida to do a Tony Robbins. I don't even know the name of the event. He's like a motivational speaker. Honestly, I did not know much about him or like what this program was at all. Some of the people from the Graham Stephan mentorship that I'm a member of we're going to attend. And I actually thought there were going to be a lot more of us. I was like, oh, cool. This will be a way to meet more people from that. And so I decided to go. And hi, Mystic. And I said that I would go, and I purchased like the ticket to the event a long time ago. And I kind of thought like I was going to go there and network, and it does not appear that that's what it's about at all. All right, Francesca, we'll see. Yeah, I could probably use a restart to my life. Which one is this called? It's called UPW. Up. What does that even stand for? I don't remember. I did just check into my flight. So I got my seats selected for my flight there. I think I need to do some other stuff though. I've never flown with a laptop before. You guys know I'm not really that tech savvy, so I never really had a laptop. And even if I did, I like never wanted to bring it with me because it was like the laptop I had before my YouTube laptop was like literally a $99 like purple one I got from Walmart, which actually works just fine, but not like in terms of a microphone and things like that. So Tony Robbins is a motivational like life coach. Upstart PW, Power Within, Unleash the Power Within. That's what it stands for, I think. Lorna, you're welcome. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any unemployment questions. Otherwise, I might keep it kind of short tonight, or Golden State stimulus questions. So Francesca wants to know if we have to show proof of vaccination or negative COVID test to fly. So not to fly, but to attend the event. Oh, and here, let's talk about this for a minute. Hi, John. It's still evening here. So today in the city of Los Angeles, movie theaters had to start requiring proof of full vaccination or a negative COVID test to attend a movie. And it all went really well. Like everyone was really great. Most people were prepared. There were a few people that didn't have either of those things with them, but they weren't mean about it at all. They just said, "Oh, okay, like I'll get it next time," or "Oh, we didn't know," and they left, and everyone was nice. So I have seen Shallow Hal Gets a Gal or whatever. I've seen that movie, but that's like honestly like my only experience with Tony Robbins before signing up for this event. And now I've watched most of the Netflix special that he's done. I Am Not Your Guru. And I was crying the whole time. That's a note to myself that I should probably try and pack some Kleenex or at least buy some when I get there. Check-in is not till Wednesday, so I'm flying pretty much all day tomorrow. Oh, I thought I was gonna have more time, I guess not. I'm flying all day tomorrow, and then check-in is, like, late afternoon, evening on Wednesday, and then everything starts on Thursday. So, I don't know. I also don't know if I'll make a YouTube video on that, maybe if it really does change my life. So yeah, of course, I don't have my settings correct. Let me see here. What do I want to say about PUA, the PUA stuff? Are any of you guys were you on PUA unemployment claims? I guess that's the first question. So let me know if you need to know for proof of work what documents are accepted. So, common things like if you just didn't have enough wages from a traditional employer, a W 2 would be okay. Um, if you were planning on becoming self-employed but you hadn't started your business yet, like a business plan, that could just be like a detailed like writing of, I plan on doing this, I need to purchase this, I'm going to start doing X, Y, and Z on this date. Something like that would be okay. Sure, Miriam, we can talk about rent relief as well. um what else for proof of employment or proof of self-employment? An affidavit from you saying that you had a job offer. You can get an offer letter from a potential employer, your tax return, and that kind of thing. Aw, thank you, DZ. Yeah, a lot of people said that of both myself and Jenny Silver. We just, this started as a way to get the information to my employees, and because our whole corporate office was furloughed and everything. Okay, so about the affidavit, you would basically just say, I had a job offer with this company and they closed permanently due to the virus, and I was unable to begin with them, and you would mail that in or scan that in to them. I can't promise that they won't have follow-up questions, but just answer truthfully and you should be okay. Let me see if I can read all the acceptable documents. Of course, I should have screenshotted this, but did I? No. Okay. So I'm going to bring up that list. Anyways, I always just go to the EDD homepage and then go to their newsroom, and then it's right there in their news release. I will not read the whole news release. And a lot of these documents overlap. So, state or federal employer identification numbers, business licenses. So, if you went so far in your self employment as to start to get a business license or business permit, probably, then that would count. You could send that in. Tax returns, business receipts or invoices. So, like if you invoiced someone, that would count. Remind me that I want to say something about like house cleaners and things that and people who may have worked for cash in a second. Um, Signed affidavits verifying your self-employment. So that's basically just a statement that you sign saying, um, in the case of an all cash business, you could say, hey, my business was all cash. I cleaned people's houses. I cut people's lawn. I um, washed cars. My mom sells at the swap meet, and her business is mostly all cash. She hasn't done that in a long time, but that's an all cash business. Um, I sold items at the swap meet. I had somebody tell me that they just kind of like did a little bit of everything, like they ran errands for someone off of Craigslist. So if you had something like an email that you ever sent anybody from Craigslist, like something like that. Okay, if you had a contract or an agreement with anybody that you worked with, you could send that in. A bank statement, but that needs to be from a business account that shows claimant's self-employment. So, fun fact, guys, even though I do know a lot about money, I have not separated out my YouTube self-employment income into a separate business bank account. So that's my poor record keeping. So if this were me, I wouldn't be able to submit that, but I get like a 1099 from YouTube. So even though it's self-employment, I could show them like a 1099. Yeah, all those are overlapping. Those are overlapping. Written business plans or a lease agreement. So if you were going to start, I don't know, a nail salon and you had leased a building and then you weren't able to accept the lease on that, that would count. And then if you were just about to start being employed, but you weren't yet, a letter offering that employment or an email, statement or affidavit with the employer's name and contact information verifying an offer of employment. So, whatever number, even if they're out of business, whatever number that you used when, you were corresponding with them, I would list that and their name. Let me see here what else. That's the most of the list, but they even say themselves it's not a complete list. And my contact at the EDD said that they actually want to try and make this as easy as possible on people. So, yeah. Okay. Let's talk about rent relief right now. California still has funding available for that. So you just need to apply at housingiskey.com. That'll take you, I actually think it's going to change the website to like housing.ca.gov or something like that. But that's the website. So then what you're going to do is go through that application process. They might ask you if you are at risk of experiencing homelessness, and go ahead and if you don't get their help, and so without their help in 3 months, you wouldn't be able to pay the bills and your landlord might ask you to leave, then just answer that question yes, truthfully. If I don't get assistance from you, I am at risk of experiencing homelessness. What else did I want to say about housing is key? It's really best if you can get your landlord to work with you. I know what I wanted to say. So, the I hope she doesn't mind if I share the story. I won't name names, maybe. Someone that I know is applying for housing is key and they haven't heard back from the program yet. So on the program, Michael, I haven't heard anything about a PUA extension. Not a single word. It's possible that I missed it. I've been at work all day, but I have not heard anything about that. Anyway, so her landlord was really pressing her. Her landlord was like, "You told me that you applied for rent relief 3 months ago, and now 3 months have gone by and I haven't received a dime, da 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 da." Right? So, what I suggested for this person to do is, one, call the caseworker and see if they're able to give an update on the information. And then also, and I even said, like, if you have a good, even if your landlord's kind of mad at you, but in the past you've had a good relationship, maybe offer to call your housing is key caseworker or even just call the regular phone number, either on a three-way call, or maybe like if your landlord's in your same apartment building, like maybe walk over to their unit and say, "Hey, I know it's frustrating for you. I wish I had an answer for you. Um, I'm willing to call them right here with you. Is it okay if I come in for a second? Or, do you want to be on the three-way call so that you can hear me call them and ask them for an update on the information?" And the other option is the assembly members can help with this as well. Let me grab that link for you guys. So the assembly members can help with this as well. You're just going to email them just like you did before with unemployment issues. And here's what I want you to say. Hold on, let me paste this link. For your assembly member, and I'll pin this as a pinned comment as well. So you're going to email your assembly member and you're going to say, "Hey, I applied for rent relief or rental assistance through the Housing is Key program a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, however long ago it was. And I still haven't heard whether I'm approved or not. I'm experiencing financial hardship because I haven't received any rental assistance. My landlord is growing frustrated with the process. Is there anything that you can do to help me get my rental relief or rental assistance any faster?" And then see what they can say. But make sure to put in that bit about, "I am experiencing financial hardship." You could also put like, my landlord is growing frustrated and I'm worried that I'm going to experience homelessness, since that's one of the questions kind of from Housing is Key, and see if that helps. Oh, Michael, it is still too early. So bad. Aw, thank you. Thank you guys. Okay. So let's see, what else do you have here? Okay, DZ, we did that one. Francesca says, been calling them 100 times a day, and after I enter my social security number, I get the response that they're too busy, and I call from 3 phones first thing in the morning, and I never had a problem before, but now nothing. I wonder if a lot of people are calling about the PUA unemployment thing. Guys, I actually think that Claimer is giving out free calls this week. I'm not sure if that's only if it's your first time using them or if it's any time. I'll drop my Claimer link as well, but I think they're doing free calls this week. I'm also not 100% sure. That might just be for the IRS. Claimer is now calling the IRS. So Claimer does, I know sometimes it's frustrating and people are like, I don't want to have to pay to call the EDD, which is a completely fair point. So also, your assembly member, email your assembly member if you have a question. And you can't get through to the EDD. They have been really, really, really helpful. Ooh, 200 times a day, since you guys are going to overheat your phones, I feel like. So be careful. Call 8 a.m. to 8:15, and then 2:30 to 4 p.m. are the best times to call the EDD. And I'm so sorry that you guys are still having problems getting through. Oh, and just in case you're curious, I was worried. I was like, how is Claimer still going to get us through to hold, since now it wants a social security number? And I don't really know the magic behind how it works. But Claimer is still able to get you on hold. I actually tested that out myself the other day because Debbie was telling me that she was telling me that the hours changed at the EDD. They haven't. They're still open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. But a lot of times, if you need to call, you probably need to speak with a tier 2 rep. So you want to make sure that you've called before 4 p.m. so that you have plenty of time to hold and actually talk to a tier 2 rep if you need to do that. That stinks though. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Francesca is saying it's madness. You knew all the tricks to pass here, and sometimes it might take 89 calls, but you could always get through. It's as if they aren't there at all anymore, or they don't want to help. I wonder, at some point, they're probably going to let go some of the extra staff that they hired on for the pandemic. And I tried to ask my contact at the EDD that, and he said that they hadn't let them go yet, but I feel like maybe they did. John V says Shiba Inu coin is starting to go up. You guys, ultimately, I do want to be a finance channel. I do have some money in Shiba Inu coin. It's basically like buying a lottery ticket. Even with most stocks, the advice is only invest what you can afford to lose, because you never quite know what's going to happen with a certain stock. I have actually had stocks that have gone all the way down to zero. What else have I had? What else? I've had Bitcoin before and I sold it at a loss. That's a story that definitely deserves a whole video. I feel like I missed out on Dogecoin, so I want to try Shiba Inu coin, which they trade on Webull. I'm not going to drop my Webull link. It's always in the video description down below. You can't trade Shiba Inu on Robinhood. But I think that's why it's going up right now, is they're speculating that they're going to add it to Robinhood. And if they add it to Robinhood, then it probably would jump in value. But of course, as soon as that happened, tons of people could just sell it. So that's just because I bought some does not mean that that's an endorsement of buying it yourself. But if you're already thinking about buying Shiba Inu, you can trade it on Webull. And when you use my link in the description down below, you get 2 free stocks when you sign up. And also, I super love Yada Savings Bank. Somebody won a Tesla again yesterday just because they saved their money with Yada Savings Bank. Okay. Michael says you can buy receipt books for a few dollars anywhere that have invoice pages that are totally legit all the way. That's what I do. That's a good point. I might actually have one of those. Let me see. I have like this little drawer over here. And let's see, I have like my birth certificate in it. You can get them at Smart and Final. It's like a paper receipt book. Now I got my checkbook over here. Because I also misplaced my passport, but luckily I'm flying within the United States, so I don't need it. But yeah, so here's another fun story. This is totally on the up and up, but my mom, I told you she sells things at the swap meet. And she has a wholesaler's license, which is probably also something else that you could provide that would show that you were self-employed. Like you probably wouldn't have like a wholesale license if you weren't selling something, but that allows her to go to like the places where you buy things wholesale. And she supplies the flashlights for my work because we give the employees like the equivalent of kind of like dollar store flashlights because they lose them. And they have these little cords and the staff love to swing them around like they're helicopters. I don't know why they love that. And I'm always like, guys, those are going to fall off the cheap $1 string that they're on. But we just give them dollar ones because they lose them really quickly. But we used to get those from her, but she's an all cash business, but like we needed a receipt and she just used one of those receipt books from like Smart and Final. So yeah, you can do that. Make an invoice, make a receipt for your business. Pigeon 6133 says, what do you do when you run out of benefits? Make sure that you've applied for food stamps. Really get your resume in tip-top shape and apply for a job that you really want, but also apply for things that will just, get you through and help you be able to pay your bills. So Lorna says, I have proof from people that I clean houses and they pay me by Zelle from their business account to my personal account. Could that statement work? It might. Like I said, my EDD contact says that they're not trying to really like make this hard on people, that they're really pretty lenient on what they will accept. I would try that. Maybe even screenshots. Maybe it's like, I don't know. I use Venmo. On Venmo, you can put like stickers or emojis or whatever. So like for cleaning, you could put like a little broom and a little dustpan. Like maybe you could take a screenshot of some of those and be like, here's where I got payments for cleaning and see if that works. Yeah, I would at least try that. Okay, so DZ says you've been desperately trying to get through with no luck and you've been disqualified since the middle of May. They were saying I have rights to claim in Arizona. I was on a combined wages claim. Oh my goodness. Definitely email your assembly member. Anytime your EDD claim gets really tangled, honestly, the assembly members, which is the pinned comment up at top, and it's always linked in the description down below, they are the best at seeming to like untangle your claim and actually get you paid. So shoot your assembly member an email, and the link is for how to find your rep. Also, guys, it's going to say that it's not a secure link when you type it, but it is. It just says that for everybody. I lost my place, guys. So you guys know what that means? That means to take a moment and like the video. I think there's actually, usually my Sunday morning streams are more popular, but it's funny because I think there's actually a few more people tonight. PUA is in the new bill coming this week. Okay, so here's what I've heard in terms of PUA unemployment. What I have heard, it wouldn't be like an extension or anything. And again, I haven't read today's news. What I've heard is that they want to make benefits permanently available for people who are self-employed so that they were always available, just like benefits are always available to people with traditional jobs who lose them through no fault of their own. And so I have heard that they want to like overhaul the unemployment system in general. And so one of those things that I've heard that they're discussing is making unemployment benefits available to those who are self-employed at all times, not just during like the things that happened in 2020. And in terms of overhauling unemployment, I've heard that, like the EDD computer system was terrible, right? It's a really old program. It's an old system. It hasn't been upgraded in forever. So that's one of the things that I've heard was going to be in this next bill is money that's allocated to get those things up and running. You guys, my heater, what? No, I don't know what's going on. I thought my heater was on. I'm tired and I have to pack and my flight leaves at 6. So I have to be at the airport at 4 a.m. So I'm probably just gonna like finish streaming this and then pack and then go to the airport, like, and not deal with it. Okay, so push to get, okay, so Francesca's talking about rent relief, and she's saying you have to be really pushy with your claim manager. Pushy but nice, like firm, advocate for yourself, right? So don't take no for an answer, but do it really nice. But push to get your rent relief claim manager's name and email and literally diligently stay on top of them. Being nice, of course, and thankful, but it takes work. Do it here. Okay, Jet says, so PUA is dead, right? Sorry, I just joined if you already answered that. Most likely, but I'm starting now. A couple comments about a PUA extension in the next part of what they're calling the stimulus bill, which I have not read anything about. Also, Jenny Silver hasn't made a video on it, so if she hasn't made a video on it, it's probably not true. I've only heard that they want to make it permanently available, but not an extension, not just in the way that unemployment benefits are always available to people with traditional W-2 jobs. So that's what I've heard. Okay. So DZ's, they're saying that all your wages were earned in Arizona. You now have no idea how they figure that when you made most of your wages in California. It's a big headache. Yeah. Once it turns into a big headache, hand it over to your assembly member. Okay. And sure. Jet says, what do you mean by that, John? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I really don't. Uh-oh. You've been going through. Does eBay invoices count? Possibly. Stimulus checks. I think that's something. You have a double meaning. Benny says, what's the news with Golden State Stimulus 2? I still don't know anybody who has yet to receive a check, and I am eligible. I definitely got mine via direct deposit, and under that video, actually under all of them, there's that I've made on the Golden State Stimulus 2, there's people saying, I got the check. People actually started getting paper checks on October 5th. I do want to remind everybody that if unemployment benefits were your only source of income, then unfortunately you wouldn't qualify for the Golden State Stimulus 2. I think this is more common knowledge, but if you got the first Golden State Stimulus, you don't qualify for the second one unless you had a dependent, and then it would only be $500 this time instead of the $600. A lot of people are wondering, why did I only get $500? That should mean that you already got the $600. Additionally, it's only $600 like per couple. So if you're married, it would just be $600 for the both of you, not $600 each. And then it's only $500 total for all your dependents. You could have two little baby Yodas, boop, 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 and just one $500 payment. Okay, these aren't actually kids though, so I wouldn't get anything for that. I just like them and they're sitting right there. Okay, let's see. What else about the Golden State Stimulus 2? So if unemployment benefits were your only source of income, you wouldn't qualify. Something that might indicate, two things that might indicate that you are getting a paper check is if when you used a tax preparer, you choose, they usually call it, I want to say instant refund. So if you used H&R Block, TurboTax, and you use their instant refund option. So you were leaving maybe with like a prepaid debit card that very same day, then you would be getting a paper check. If you've moved or changed your bank account information, probably also a paper check. But you might also want to call them on that. And I have in one of the videos, I do have that phone number linked in the video. What else? And in yesterday's video, I put it in the chat, but I don't know where in the chat, so I'm not quite sure how to find that. You can watch yesterday's Q&A on 2x speed to get that information. And let's think. Also, if you used part of your tax refund in order to pay the tax preparation fees, so let's say that you owe money. There's like free versions of the tax software, and then there's versions where you have to pay. And of course, we don't want to pay out of pocket. So a lot of people choose the option like pay the tax preparer out of part of my refund. And I've heard that that can also trigger a paper check arriving. And the paper checks are still going to be going out all the way through January 11th of 2022. Ian says, try calling instead of selecting. And instead of selecting one, then press the option as an employer and not as an employee, and they will deal with your claim as an employee. Okay, so when you call the EDD, it says press 1 if you have a claim, press 2 if you're an employer. So he's saying press the option to tell it that you're an employer instead of saying that you're the person with an unemployment claim. I will say, Ian, during the height of things, that really depends on the luck of the draw of the rep you get. Some of them are kind of nasty about that, and they're like, "You didn't call the right line. We're not gonna transfer you through." And some of them just transfer you through without even blinking an eye. So yes, I've heard that that works, but in general, I've kind of never promoted doing that, even though it works, because I don't want you guys to risk getting, like, somebody that's nasty to you and then hangs up on you after you've, spent your time calling. Francesca says, "Do I know what the best way to add funds to your newest claim and make sure they are added and calculate your award using the alternative base period versus the standard?" It's my understanding that you need to call and request that they use the alternate base period instead of the standard base period. I'm not 100% sure on this. There might be an option under Ask EDD. These used to be the options anyway, right? Anytime you want to do something, there's kind of four options. One is to call, right, which is a pain, we all know. So one is to call, two is to use the Ask EDD feature. Three is there's like the contact us. I haven't logged onto my own claim in a while, so hopefully that's still there. There's like a contact us message at the top of your UI online homepage over to the right. People were saying that you didn't really get responses from those, but it never hurts to try. And then fourth is emailing your assembly member. So those are always kind of the four tips still. Thank you, Michael. So Miriam, we just talked about Golden State Stimulus too. And yes, um, paper checks started going out October 5th, and they should be mostly done with direct deposit unless you're somebody um, who filed your taxes really late, like, excuse me, they changed the deadline to October 15th to file your taxes. So if you didn't file your taxes until October 15th, they said that it's going to take about 45 days after you filed your taxes before you would see that direct deposit. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Oh, hi, Debbie. Oh, so you guys, I lost my place a little bit. It really wasn't bad at all checking vaccination status at the movie theater. It went really smooth and everybody was really nice. Uh, Michael, it's not too early or too late. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so Justin saying, who is my assembly member? And I have that pinned at the top comment of the video. And then also, you know what? Am I supposed to like expand that so that people can see it the whole time? I wonder if I am. I'm not good at YouTube. I'm still learning. So your assembly member is basically a person from the government who works in just your zip code to kind of advocate for whatever the people in that zip code need from the government. And so they kind of act as a liaison, like a go between um, people that live in the neighborhood and the people that actually can get things done in the government, whichever department that is. I even had somebody, he was so sweet, lost his ID, which you need to work and you need it for like a lot of things. And I was like, email your assembly member. And the DMV, right? All of the government agencies got really far behind because everything was closed for such a long time last year. Some EDD offices still aren't. I think actually they are fully reopened, but that just happened. And I think it's still appointment only. So a lot of things got behind, but the assembly member can help maybe get them to send you your driver's license faster. They can help follow up on your rent relief application, and they can help with your EDD unemployment. I will say, I want to caution you, Justin, I haven't seen you in the channel chat before, that a lot of times people saw a claim balance, a really big claim balance. But if you were on PUA, PEUC, or Fed Ed, those programs are all expired now. And so you don't have access to that claim anymore because it expired, even if you see a claim balance. I'm going to skip around a little bit as I work my way back up. I don't know. You guys, I think I'm gonna end this early in about 10 minutes. I gotta pack. Okay, can't Carmen says, do affidavits verifying self-employment have to be notarized? I've never done this before. I asked my contact that, and he said no, but it would help. Getting something notarized. I didn't really know what this was until I bought my house. I'd always seen like the signs like notarization here or licensed notary here, right? And I never really knew what that was. I knew it's somebody that like it's kind of like a witness. It's somebody that's saying, "Yep, I saw that Shelly is the person who signed that," right? You sign your stuff in front of them. But they said um he said it didn't need to be notarized, but it would help if it was. So, I don't think you have to do that because you have to pay a notary, right? Maybe like $20. So, I don't think that's necessary. He said it's not. I'll read you exactly what he said. I'll read you how I worded the question and the response. Oh, please let me find this. Okay, let's see here. Ba, 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 ba. Oops. So my list of questions for him is super, super long. Ba, 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 ba. Oh my goodness, how long? Okay. If you do accept a signed affidavit, this is before I saw the list. If you do accept a signed affidavit that someone had an offer to begin work, will it need to be notarized? And he responded, oh, he totally said, not required, but won't hurt. It says, I get home next Tuesday. And then I'm back at work Wednesday morning. And guys, I didn't see my mom before I left on my trip. She wasn't feeling well yesterday. Like she was feeling like spunky in the chat, figured out how to work it. And then she had a stomach ache and some other accompanying issues with that stomach ache. And she's like, you better not come see me today. So I didn't visit my mom. And then I ended up getting called in for a night shift, which is why I haven't packed yet. Who am I kidding? I probably would have procrastinated and not packed on time anyway. Oh, Justin, I'm now reading up your comments. You were robbed and they messed with your passwords and you haven't been able to access your account since last November and you can't get a hold of anybody. Definitely, definitely email the assembly member. And yeah, then that wouldn't apply about your claim balance. Okay, what is Ian saying here? Uh-oh. Ian saying your question was exactly what I was trying to explain to the rep. Can you guys ask that question again if I haven't? Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, I did her question. The reps are supposed to know what an alternate base period is and how to get that done. So let's just go over the answer that again in case you guys were like washing dishes or zoned out or something because I'm blabbing on about flying. So if you need them to use an alternate base period because you need to make sure that the EDD is capturing your most recent wages when you're filing a new claim or whatnot. What There's four things to try. Number one is calling, although poor Ian saying he called and the rep didn't understand it. The second thing is see if there's an option from the drop down menu on the Ask EDD feature once you're logged onto your UI Online account. The third is to use the Contact Us option. And guys, I'm not living in a cave. I know it's unlikely that you'll get a response, but like it doesn't hurt to try, right? My mom has a saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you try all of these things, like it's more likely that one of them will work. And then the last thing is just emailing your assembly member. If you needed to email your assembly member about using an alternate base period, I would say something like, hi, I'm in the process of filling out or filing my new unemployment claim, but I need to make sure that they're using my most recent wages when I recently returned to work because otherwise I'll be experiencing a financial hardship if they don't use those wages. I know they're able to use an alternate base period, but I'm having trouble explaining that to the representative when I call on the phone. Is there anything that you can do to help me make sure that I'm paid the most that I'm eligible for? That's what I would say. All right, St. Matthew, you plan to win the lottery. Me too. DZ says, Dodge Lawn Mars coin. Dogelon? I don't know. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so hopefully you guys got the answer to that. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, and Michael's talking about like the receipts that you can buy from Smart and Final. Yeah, you put in your name as your business name, business license, phone number, address, and business name, and then fill out the same for whoever you did work for and the dollar amounts. Eric says I wasn't working. Eric, I think I answered your question in the comments. So if you were going to work for a theater and then like they told you that you were going to work and then they weren't able to like actually ever start you. And you said, I think that you didn't have anything in writing. This was all done. Like you applied in person. They gave you the offer verbally and now they're closed forever and ever. So that would be the affidavit, right? So you're going to make a statement that says on such and such a date in 2019 or 2020, whenever, right before everything hit, I applied at Cinemark movie theater at this address. And they verbally told me that I was going to start on March 30th of 2020. But because the pandemic hit, they had to shut down and I was no longer able to begin my position. And then you're just going to sign your name and you're going to upload that document. It's super easy. Geez. Okay. Lori says, you're dealing with trying to verify your self-employment. Your new claim needed to apply a DE 1870 and gave all my information to determine if I am eligible. I'm not familiar with that form. And for the new claim, you would have also needed at least $1,300 in W-2 wages. I wish that you guys could I wish that YouTube would allow you guys to type in like as much of a question as you need in the chat. Sometimes it's really hard to try and determine like what you guys are trying to communicate in the chat. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the bottom and do a few random questions. And then I'm going to procrastinate, pack, procrastinate, pack, procrastinate, pack, sleep, pack, sleep, pack, cry, pack. Oh God. I'm tired already. Okay, I won't do that again. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. DZ, thank you for saying that I'm your favorite YouTuber. Probably not if I do stuff like that with Baby Yoda. Okay, back to your questions. Kenneth says, I can't believe that it ended 2 months and 3 days ago. Yeah, me either. That's crazy. You guys, one of my coworkers that came back to work today from the first time, the one that went to corporate, but we started we've been working together for almost the whole 25 years I've been with the company. She's struggling with her rent relief and it's been a long time. She's burned through what she was able to save and it's breaking my heart, but I'm so glad that she's back to work. But you know how you get paid every 2 weeks? Whatever. It's in between pay cycles. She's breaking my heart, but I'm glad that she's back at work. Things are messed up. No, I think I'm going to take my laptop and I'm going to try and do it because since I'll be on Florida time, I don't think I'm in the seminar. I'm going to take my laptop and I'm going to try and go live. We'll see. I might not be able to do it, but if I can, I will. I'm going to take the laptop and we're going to try and do it. Kenneth says the numbers are going up because people are not getting booster shots. That's something that I had worried about. And you guys, I'm going to Florida and you might not be able to tell from this. Look how big my arm is, but I'm definitely in the obese class. Like I really am. That's why I film on purpose from like here up. And I definitely was like, hey, I also have high blood pressure. And I for sure was like, I'm getting my booster. So I got it at CVS last week. And then the next day I went to work. I need this break, you guys. Jen said, what if you made more than got reported? I don't think that's going to matter. I don't think that's what they're looking for. They're just really looking to make sure that you genuinely were self-employed because I'm going to give you 2 situations No, I'll just give you the one. There's a story of like a homeless man, and someone came and said, "You know what, sir, did you know that you could get PUA unemployment benefits?" And the homeless man goes, I wasn't planning on working. I don't know. I shouldn't make impressions like that. Whatever. The homeless guy says, I wasn't planning on working. And this person that comes up to him, I'm like paraphrasing like an actual thing that happened. And the person that approaches the guy says, no, you didn't need to actually work. You didn't need to do this. I can help you file and get all this money from PUA unemployment. And so the homeless guy's like, all right, fine, let's do this. And then the story in the news was the homeless man got the money and he bought like a motorcycle with it. And on the one hand, I think it's really sad that we don't help our homeless people and that they would need to like try and manipulate the unemployment system to try and get money. But that person wasn't really eligible for unemployment benefits. And in that case, what my contact said to do in that case is actually to like file a police report about the person that was like, hey, come get your money, come file this unemployment report, and then also report that person to the EDD for being dishonest. But that person could get receipts and say, well, I bought that bike because, I was planning on, I don't know, driving for DoorDash or something like that. They could say that they were planning on doing something with that. I was going to be a famous Instagrammer and take wonderful photos on the road. There's all sorts of things. But I don't really think they're looking for like, and also if you made more than you reported, probably the EDD owes you money, but that would probably be really hard. Oh, Kenneth says, my coworker should ask for an advance from Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban is no longer our owner. Okay, Truth Teller says, oh, yes, let me answer your question. Your understanding is that if you have to pay anything back to the EDD, it only applies to benefits received after December 27th, 2020. Is that correct? And he goes, like, I kind of anticipated that was going to be a question. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Oops. These are my questions. Somebody was probably going to screenshot this. I said something to the effect of, if someone needed to provide proof of employment and they can't, and the EDD can only send an overpayment notice from 12/27 onward, right? They couldn't request money all the way back to like when their claim first started in February 2020. And the response to that says, he says, I'll check, but I believe the trigger is the time the person submitted the application for benefits. So, and I think there is something about that too, based on like whether you applied before December 27th or after December 27th. And even if they hit you with an overpayment notice, you can request an overpayment waiver. The process to find out if that's approved or not can be a lengthy process, though. Pack at 6 a.m. The plane leaves at 6 a.m. I gotta be there at 4 a.m. So yeah. That was kind of I must have had that date in my head somewhere as well, though, otherwise I wouldn't have asked that. The if you wanna dig for it yourself, right? I don't have time to, and I hate telling you guys that. That is outlined in the dole guidance. So you would search like dole guidance. I think that was in the CARES Act, right? Or the American Rescue Plan Act. It was in one of those where where it said like how long they could go back. And I do want to say that it was December 27th, but it might be different for people that applied before December 27th and people who applied after December 27th. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So I answered Ken's, hi, KFLA TV. I am about to go pack. And yes, Thank you for the donation. If you have any questions, you got to get them in fast because I'm about to take off for the evening tonight and pack and go to the airport, I think, without sleeping. Okay, so Kenneth says ArcLight and Pacific Theaters RIP. Yeah, people really loved the Hollywood Cinerama Dome. Hopefully they'll at least be able to say that. So Truth Tell said, I read the federal law and it said that overpayments would only apply to payments received after December 27th, since that was the day it became law, and just wanted to confirm. That sounds accurate to me. Like I must have had you guys know I'm back to work and I'm still making the videos and I'm trying very, very hard. I just don't want to misquote, but I do remember that date for requesting the back payments. But even my contact at the EDD said, I'll check, but I believe the trigger is the time the person submitted the application for benefits. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Ooh, this looks like a good answer. Let's see what I asked here. Maybe I should make a video on this. I think so. Okay. 6. I want to make sure I have my facts straight on overpayment waivers for this. Is the process of requesting an overpayment different than filing an appeal? Or does the claimant file the appeal and then during the appeals process, they find out if they are granted the overpayment waiver? And he said, survey says, appealing is different from a waiver. In general, an appeal means I don't agree that I owe X. And a waiver means I admit that I owe X, but I shouldn't have to pay it because insert reasons such as extreme financial hardship. The appeal process is spelled out fairly well. We are working on developing the waiver process information and materials soon. Hopefully I was able to share that. But so they haven't even developed how they're going to deal with all of this. They're in the process. And this, you guys, was from like November 1st. So as of November 1st, they hadn't figured out how they're going to deal with the overpayment process. And that's probably why they're going to be pretty like loosey-goosey about what they're going to accept. I don't think they really want to deal with like tracking down all these overpayments either. And thank you, KAFLA TV. If we do make it to that, do you know that part that I'm talking about? I remember going upstairs, like a narrow staircase, and then they had like, I don't even know if you drank, but anyway, a really cool Korean bar. And then there was like kind of like picnic tables, but it was also like dark inside and cold, cloudy sake. It was so good. Okay, I'm going to Florida. I'm not going to Disney World. I'm going to a Tony Robbins, who's a motivational speaker, like event. Okay. Would overpayments include weekly benefit payment and the federal boost? Yes, that's actually it's buried in that really long news release. Oh no, maybe that's not in the news release. That might, you guys, I have some stuff that I'm not able to share yet either. Is that in the news release? Let me scan the news release really, really quick. Anyway, it would, hold on. It is going to potentially be, and you know, though, even in the thing that I don't know where it is, but yes, they only mentioned the $300. They didn't say anything about the $600, which would also include, or like indicate that they're not going to go all the way back to when people could first file, since they only mentioned the $300 and not the $600 boost. So I think you're right on that. And truth teller, I wish I could remember part of it. These Monday night lives, I come straight from work to go live, and then I feel like my brain's a little off. Okay. Speaking of Korean things, your Gen Z coworkers probably watch Squid Games. I want to see okay. I have to admit this. I've seen the movie Battle Royale. Okay. And Squid Games to me just looks like a TV version of Battle Royale. So one, I kind of don't get it. Also, we could say that of the Hunger Games too, right? Already done in the form of a movie, Battle Royale. And if you guys haven't seen Battle Royale, check it out. It is a very cool cult film. Now, Squid Games. As I get older, right? You guys, when I watched Battle Royale, I was like 18, right? I could watch all sorts of like negative imagery on television or like a movie screen. Now I can't. I just can't stomach it. Like horror, if it's not my thing. But I do want to watch Squid Games, and I love pop culture, right? Like, so I'm upset that I can't, like, I like to have all the references. Like, I like to say factor cap or like whatever I think will annoy my younger coworkers. That's the vernacular that I want to have in my, I just want to annoy them. Like, Shelly, why are you saying that? Like they go like or whatever, like it's ice. Um, ice in your ice in your veins or whatever. Um, like I love that. I love annoying my younger coworkers, but like in a playful, professional manner. And there's all sorts of Squid Game like memes and stuff, and I don't get it, but I'm kind of scared to watch it by myself because it looks violent, quite honestly. So I don't know if I'm up for that. I like to watch like dog training shows or something. Actually, I don't watch much TV. I am babbling. I need to go pack. Okay, I'm gonna check for one more question and then I'm gonna get out of here. Squid Games. Tony Rosenthal. You're welcome, Truth Teller. And Bly says, have a safe trip. I'll enjoy his seminar. Oh, I have lost a little bit of weight. So during quarantine, I put on 30 pounds and I'm over 40. And guys, let me tell you, maybe everybody's metabolism changes over 40, but like it is no joke. It's like the difference was almost overnight. And I also love Taco Bell. So that's not helping. It's not doing me any favors. And I have high blood. Anyway, whatever. Metabolism changes are real. I put on a lot of weight during quarantine, 30 pounds, and I've lost 25 of it now. I was at my heaviest before I put on that 25 or that 30 pounds as well. So, but thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm supposed to say when someone gives me a compliment is thank you. But I have trouble with that. Maybe I'll learn about that at the Tony Robbins event. I don't know. I got to go pack. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight on Shelly's Millions. I will bring my laptop and do my best to go live for you next Sunday at 11 a.m. and next Monday at 9 p.m. Also, I don't check in to the event so the notices about the PUA proof of work, they're calling it in a lot of their emails now, proof of work. Oh, maybe because work would encompass both employment and self-employment. So saying proof of work might be a little bit more clear. So, yeah, Mari, after PUA benefits ended September 4th. So that's why. You can't file a new claim because the program doesn't exist anymore. You can't certify because it expired, even if you had a claim balance. Now the EDD is going to be asking people who ever received PUA to submit proof of employment unless you already provided proof of income. If you started your claim in 2020, there's that December 27th date comes up again. If you filed before that, if you provided proof of income, you don't need to do it again. If you filed after that, you do need to provide proof of employment, even if you already provided proof of income. So they're supposed to mail those notices out November 10th. I'm going to get it very early. This is the current plan, right? Who knows how things will actually play out. Since I just record on my phone, I'm going to try and make a video going over that notice for you guys on November 10th so that you guys can see it. And what else? Please, 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 you guys, even if you don't point them to my video, there's some shorter videos. I feel like people want to watch shorter videos. If you guys have friends, relatives, family that were collecting PUA benefits, please, please, please just make sure that they can go ahead and that they're not ignoring any text messages that they get from the EDD. Make sure that they log on to their UI online account and that they submit those documents. Some people, and again, if you're still in here, Truth Teller, I believe, again, this December 27th of 2020 date comes into play. Some people, the people I think who filed after December 27th, 2020, are only going to have 21 days. That's not very long, 3 weeks to get those documents, to get everything together and upload it to the EDD's website, or to ask for an extension on time to upload the documents. And then people before December 27th of 2020 are going to have 90 days to either upload the documents or to ask for the extension. Hopefully I don't have those dates reversed in my brain. Okay. All right. Now I really got to go unpack. Thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I will see you next time. Oh, and thank you, KAFLA, for the donation. I don't think I actually said thank you, so thank you.